Good. Well, welcome again today, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm starting to become a regular visitor to Delhi and other parts of India, so I think soon I'll have it all down. But it's just fantastic to come back. It was 1 year ago that I was at PrintPack India, and really enjoyed that time and had an opportunity to speak about some new developments in LED, more for the web offset area. Today I'm going to emphasize a lot of the success we've had in the sheet-fed LED area, and then I'm going to bring it back home to some new developments and an update on where we are with LED and web offset. So this talk is really all about LED UV and the impact LED UV is having now in the UV market. And AMS, as you'll find out, I think here has really been driving a lot of this change. Also want to welcome Mr. Karsten Barlovo, who's basically our CEO of the European region, which has had a tremendous amount of success with LED in the last several years, and so he'll be available later to talk on some of these points as well. So just a little by way of introduction, who AMS is. If you've been to the United States, if you've been to the central U.S., the Chicago area, we're about a 1 hour flight north in an area called Minneapolis, and about a 5-6 hour car drive. But it's a beautiful, as the picture shows you, this is our factory. This is taken in the summertime, obviously, which is much more beautiful. Right now it's about minus 30 C, so we're a little bit colder than Antarctica in the wintertime. So don't come in the winter. But we welcome anybody who wants to come in the fun summer season. We're in a state-of-the-art facility. We really believe in the idea of high-tech manufacturing. All of our design is centered here. Our supply base is really very important to us as well, and we enjoy that angle of our company. So we're headquartered, technically it's River Falls, Wisconsin. It's right across this border from the state of Minnesota and Minneapolis. We're the leader in conventional UV technology since 1997 in the U.S. market. So we're the #1 provider of UV technology, conventional UV and now LED in North America, and have been for quite some time. Very well known in the high end of the sheet-fed offset and the packaging market. That was our heritage. But it was about 2006, 2007 that we began to look at new ways of doing the UV process. What could come along that could disintermediate UV as a leading technology, or what could improve it? And really the answer became obvious. The answer was UV LED or LED UV. We tend to call it both things. So we began a journey into the development of LED UV. Our R&D has since switched. We're essentially 100% focused, or close to 100% focused, on R&D for LED UV technology. And we're the world leader in high power LED UV. And what I mean by high power is, since its inception at AMS, we were designing the LED to go on the highest speed machines, whether it was a sheet-fed machine or eventually the offset machines, the web offset machines. So we've been doing high power LED longer than anyone else in the market. You have a lot of guys that are doing low power devices, and that's a useful technology too for different applications. But for high power LED, this is where we excel. And high power means high speed, means lots of capabilities. LED is today approximately 80% of the turnover of AMS, and I think in the next 5 years you'll see it come close to 95+%. So that's a very nice thing. Our company is growing approximately 45% annually, so we've experienced a lot of growth with the underlying growth of the LED market. We have multiple patents on our designs. We've received a lot of awards on the LED technology and the impact it's having around the world in the printing markets. We're consistently delivering innovation, we're delivering new improvements, and we're at the top end of the power curve on the LED, both in terms of efficiency and output power delivered to meet applications. We really run a worldwide operation, so although we're centered in the central United States, it's a very flat world for us. We travel extensively. We have subsidiaries and partners essentially around the world that bring our products to the local markets. Here in India, we have a very strong partnership with APL. It's entering its 3rd year, and we couldn't be happier with the connection and the way that this has happened. And this is the way, I think, in the future that manufacturing companies are going to deliver technology quickly throughout the world, is by sealing partnerships that bring it to bear. Let's see, we also offer 24/7 service support. So we also believe fundamentally that you have to have the support system behind the technology. You can't just deliver products and parts and components and leave it up to the users to figure it out. So we deliver systems at the high end. And the systems come with guarantees, support, uptime, and we require our partners to really stand there to be ready. So in a moment's notice, if there's an issue, it gets resolved. And if there's a customer that's having a downtime, we get more agitated by that than our customers do, I think, in some cases. And we've got some funny stories of things that we've done to keep our customers happy. And that's just part of who we are. That's our culture. We understand how important it is in manufacturing to keep things running. So that's sort of the background. As I mentioned, we began in the traditional UV sector for many years, and we still have one of the strongest products in the market, this what we call our P3 UV, which is now globally branded as a Smart UV system. And we oftentimes are still delivering the Smart UV in conjunction with LED systems. There are some applications for customers, for example, in packaging, where they still need these traditional UV wavelengths. Although the movement towards mercury-free, towards the elimination of the heat and the problems with UV is happening so quickly right now. And what you'll see today, and I'll refer to this, you'll see a lot of samples here that were very recently printed that are showing some of the problems that existed even a year ago, where LED coatings weren't available. Now this is no longer the case. So you can see that LED is quickly taking over the entire process, and so everything is switching now to this platform. Today we're standing as the #1 provider worldwide of high-power LED systems. We have over 250 system units installed around the world, and you could see a huge chunk of this is happening in Europe right now. And it's no coincidence, as Mr. V.S. Raja mentioned, that this ban on the mercury, this RoHS ban, is happening this year. So this need to have a mercury-free alternative is happening very, very quickly. But that's really not the business driver for what's happening. The business driver is more important. The ROI that LED can deliver to a printing house is incredible. But it's really a worldwide phenomenon. As a company, we're active in the sheet fit offset sector, which we've had a tremendous amount of success. We're active in the Flexo web sector. So if anybody came to the Label Expo, we were there. We had our systems running on the show floor with partners such as OMET, and really an exciting time for label manufacturing and flexible packaging manufacturing, because LED is an incredible viable technology today, and it's available in low migration formulations, which is important for the food sector. We're active in the inkjet web. As inkjet speeds are getting faster and the format widths are getting wider, it's intersecting very well with what we offer from an LED point of view. We're also active in markets outside of printing, such as a flat panel display. So your next generation OLED screens, the curved high definition flat screens, there's a good chance they'll be manufactured with our technology, doing the curing of a very important stage of that technology. Web offset is now ripe for the LED revolution, and as I mentioned earlier, I'll show you some video towards the end of this presentation of our first real high-speed installation happening in Japan. And we also do specialty markets. The wood industry, wood curing, is something that's going to transition very quickly to LED wavelength technology. And so we also get involved in a lot of specialty applications where there's a UV curing requirement. On the sheet fed market, this is really where this revolution began, and as such we've excelled. We have many, many installations around the world. There's rarely a machine that LED cannot be quickly adapted to fit, and you'll see this over and over again. An installation can take less than a few hours on most machines. LED is compact, it's easy to fit machines, and it's really bringing the idea of UV curing technology to machines that were not designed for the UV process. In sort of the recent old days with UV, you'd have to put multiple interdects on a machine. In some cases, you have to literally saw off the side frames to fit a UV unit, and then you have exhaust and shutters and all these things to worry about. With LED, you could really get this process done with a single lamp unit, and you could put the lamp unit in any location on the press where it makes sense. Most of the time, it's end of press. But it's a very fast revolution, and is bringing value to existing machines, so it doesn't require the investment in a new press. if the benefits of the new press aren't really what's driving your business at that time. Of course, new presses bring a lot of other features and automation and speeds, but this can bring value right away. And it's an interesting thing to mention. Many of our customers who add an LED unit to an existing press usually are in the market to buy a new machine within 6 to 12 months. The reason for that is they get so much gain from the LED business. They start printing things on new substrates. Their business is growing, and to keep up they have to add additional press equipment. So it's a classic good problem to have. We focus on a high level of customer satisfaction, and what's so exciting about LED technology is our customers just get so excited about it. They have many ways to bring the excitement to the market. A lot of these are examples from customers that we sell the LED technology to. They've installed it, and then they put it into their own marketing. They bring it to their customers. They market the environmentally friendly benefits of the LED. They market the new substrates, the synthetics that they can print, the coating effects that they can print. And so it really becomes a business driver for them. So we've really been excited to see this. And one of the favorite things I have to do is meet with our customers and hear what they say about it. And these are real statements from customers around the world, and just a collection of a few that are worth reading. This is from a company in Ohio, Sugar Creek, Ohio. If you've ever been there, it's a very small town. They run a man-rolled 710 color 505 Perfector. Their quote was that this is the owner of the company, installing LED is the most exciting thing he's done, and best thing he's done in 22 years of printing. That's the kind of statement we get from people that switch to the technology. This is in comparison to the conventional ink process. Here's an example. This is a KBA printer in the UK, Blackmore Group. LED is a marketing dream. They can go out and grab new customers with new products, and they can print it faster than ever before without the negatives. So all the positives, no negatives. This is the one that we like to hear. This is a big printer up in Winnipeg, Canada. They liked LEDs so much, they converted another press, and actually now they're converting a third press, and this is all within 1 year's time. And these are different examples. A few of these were straight sheet-fed commercial printers. Here's a packaging printer. This statement is simple. LED, it's a no-brainer. You really don't have to, you can think a lot about it, or you can just get into the technology, and that's really the message. This is one of the leading label manufacturers in the central United States. They're printing on metallized paper. This is stuff that goes into the paint industry, the pet food can industry. It's just stuff that it looks absolutely stunning with LED. And this, they've already purchased their 6th LED system from AMS. So what's going on? What's driving this change? The first thing is that the efficiency gains in the diodes, the underlying raw die that we start with, which is the raw ingredient to the LED process, have just been astounding at the wavelengths. So even if you look in the last 5 or 6 years, you see a growth curve. The power, the photonic output per LED chip has gone up dramatically. And this chart, I haven't even refreshed it. This is from 2014. What we've seen. So there's a tremendous growth of efficiency that every year we take advantage of. Now, does that mean you should wait until the efficiency another 5 or 10 years? You could. But I use the example, would you wait to buy a smartphone right now? Because you know that the smartphones in 2 years are going to be better than the smartphones today. Well, if you wait, you're missing out on so many things that it will bring to simplify your life. And in this process, you'll still miss out. We have plenty of power at today's efficiency levels. It only gets better as the day goes on. And one of the things that AMS has done is we designed in upgradability to your system. So when the new wavelengths are available or new power is out, you can upgrade just the chip or prevent marking and scratching. You don't have to do that anymore because the LED ink it's self-protected. It's polymer ink, so it won't come off. The only time you're running a coating anymore is if a customer wants a coating. For, let's say, a gloss cover, or they're going to pay for it for some reason, or they want an effect coating. So it really puts the coating into a value-enhancing, revenue-enhancing, but you can eliminate the coating. And it's a single LED lamp doing most of this work, and it installs very, very fast. So that's the ROI case for the sheet-fed market. And we have tremendous experience, all types of machines all around the world. is something you can do with confidence. LED is also moving fast into the label market. I'm not going to speak so much onto this topic today, but just so you know that if you're into the label or flexible packaging space, you can expect very similar benefits, although UV is very predominantly used today. So this is really an ROI in comparison to traditional UV techniques in the flexo market. You can consume greater than 50% or more in energy reduction, so that's your benefit there. Faster press speeds. In the presses we've seen, we've increased press speeds. This is a customer that we have in Italy that's gone from 100 meters a minute to 180 meters a minute press speed because we're providing better targeted, more optimized curing. The opaque whites, the blacks are curing at the press speed without registration problems due to heat, so you don't have heat to concern anymore. You're printing thinner materials because you don't have heat. You can print on a thinner poly. And if you print on a thinner poly, you save a lot of money than your competitor. So these are some of the ROI points. You're getting better substrate adhesion without use of primers. You're getting a much better assurance of constant curing, which is important for food safety. You're again eliminating mercury and ozone contamination risks. There's very little maintenance required on the system. There's very little downtime, which is a big problem in the label market. So again, we have another Excel model that we'd be happy to provide you with that helps you model the savings for a flexo installation. And this is web. So I've been told we may have a few WebOffset people in the room, and it's been said several times how important this is. So I'll mention this. This is exciting. A year ago when I was at PrintPack India, I spoke about a new customer of ours in Japan called Kinmei Printing. One of the top 10 Japanese printers. They had started with us, they run SheetFed and they run HeatSet Web. They started with us on the SheetFed area and just were thrilled with the benefits and the results, since they had the idea to convert the HeatSet press, eliminating the HeatSet dry process, move it to LED. So 1 year ago we had finished the first phases of the project, were to prove the ink, to prove the curing speeds, and to just generally move them forward to the next stage. And that was done, and I had a nice video, I think, that I showed at the conference. That video, there's a link on our website where you can still see it running. And you see the HeatSet dryer turned off in that video, but it's still there. And all the chill rolling is still there. What I'm going to show you now, the customer's now in production. They took their time, they went about it carefully, they actually got money from the government to assist because it was a new technology, so they were able to get subsidies. They basically bought new equipment to help the finishing process. And if this works, let's see if I can turn this on. You'll see a little video. So this was taken probably right before the end of the year. It's a 4-color machine. And this machine runs at about 30,000 copies an hour. That's the desired speed of the machine. So the LED is configured, one LED top, one LED bottom to do the drying at those speeds. To go faster, you simply add another LED to top and bottom. There's your LED dryer, and it's a fraction of the space. And there's no more HeatSet dryer. That's gone. So they re-architected the whole back end of the press. They put in a new rotocutter. And now they have the fastest running LED system in the world. Sheets are delivered. I'll talk about the ROI case here. And this is really, from a heat set perspective, the ROI, because it differs a little bit to cold set. There's different drivers involved. Essentially, the technology is the same. The question is, where do you locate these units on the machine? You have a significant reduction of energy. So you're comparing this not only to the electrical consumption of the blowers involved in the heat set process, but also the LP gas that's being used to drive those gas dryers. And then you have energy in the chill roll process, which is cooling your web down. So you compare all that to basically, in this case, you have one LED. It's about 15 kilowatts, worst case scenario, LED to LED. So you have a 30 kilowatt LED dryer doing all this work now. Incredible energy reduction. You have a huge reduction in floor space. And this particular customer, of course, they're Japanese, so floor space comes at a premium. They have a lot of ideas on how to use that floor space for the future to grow and add new features into that press. They had a wavy sheet problem. Okay, they run into problems with sheets not being perfectly flat. because of the heat, over drying the sheets, and there are other issues in the chill rolling process that can lead to waviness. And so this was a big quality problem they were running into. A lot of customers were complaining about it. They've completely eliminated that. They're printing what they would call sheet-fed quality. So they looked at their Heidelberg presses and they said that's the best quality we can print in the offset. With LED, they've now matched that quality on a web press, but they have the benefits of better economics. So they can run a job, a customer can't tell the difference if the job was run on a sheet-fed press, on a Heidelberg machine, or whether it was run on their high-speed web. And that was one of the key requirements. So now they can actually break into the market for higher volume output customers that are looking for that type of quality on sheets, and they can do it at a better cost point without getting into perfecting press, that sort of thing. They can get into new stock types, uncoated papers, things that are driving value. The ink consumption has gone down. So a lot of people talk about, well, the LED ink is much higher than conventional ink, especially in high volume cases such as a heat set web. But you're also using, and this is data that comes from one of our ink partners, and you're using, in the heat set world, almost 30% less ink than you would be in the conventional, because you're not vaporizing solvent carrier out of that ink. So what goes down stays down, and as a result, you're using much less. In the cold set world, and again, these are figures from one ink manufacturer, can be as high as 40% less ink utilization. So you have to factor that into the price of the ink and the volume. You can't use your existing volume to model this. You have to take that volume down to give it a fair comparison. There's virtually zero maintenance on an LED system. So you don't have the annual maintenance cycle where you come in and the press is down for days, taking care of your heat set dryer. You still have maintenance on the rest of the press, but the LED unit, it's as simple as checking the units, making sure the emitter window is clean and their chill water is nice and taken care of. Nothing's growing in it, that sort of thing. You have a higher safety level. You're not going to start a fire in the press with an LED system. So the concern about, or there's not going to be a gas explosion because you have a lot of LP gas sitting around. And not that these things happen every day, but the concern, the liability that they could happen is still there. So with LED, the safety is as high as it can get. Even the light itself, unlike mercury vapor UV light, which has dangerous spectral output, the LED light is high UVA, 385 nanometers, which is light that's more or less human friendly. It's used in phototherapy. Now these are very high intensity, so it's not recommended you look at it closely, but that's something to think about. And then of course all the regulation that goes into permitting for these high output heat systems, VOC emissions, that really goes away with an LED system. Those are some of the major drivers. I probably haven't mentioned everything here, but these are some of the things that we've seen to set up the business case for it. That's really the main part of the presentation. We're right in the middle of Drupa planning, so we want to invite everybody here to come visit us at Drupa. We'll have a big stand there. This is a preliminary model of the stand. We're excited about it. Really the theme is see the light. It's something that can be done in so many ways and brings so many benefits to the printing process. Hard to describe. Thank you very much. And one last thing, I will say a little plug for this conference. This conference, Print UV India, is really the first of its kind in India, but it's modeled after a conference that we do every year. It's now in our 9th year of planning for Print UV 2016, taking place in Las Vegas in March. And although we don't typically have a lot of international visitors, all printers are welcome. And so if you ever had that burning desire to visit Las Vegas, now is your chance. And it's an incredible conference about UV technology. We talk a lot about UV packaging, so it's a whole, it goes for 2 days straight. We have about 20 sponsors, ink companies, consumable guys, press manufacturers that come in and talk about all kinds of techniques. It's not just the UV, it's about other things that can add value to the process. It's a very offset-centric conference, so if you're coming to learn about Flexo, probably not the best conference to attend, but if you're coming to learn about the UV process in the offset world, it's an incredible thing, so we invite you guys to register. And that is the LED update. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would like to call Mr. Prashant Atre on the stage to give a token of appreciation to Mr. Steve Metcalf in the form of memento. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing a deep knowledge about LED UV with us. Your session is full of enthusiasm and valuable for the clients.